Welcome to the Mesonet Weather Report. I'm Wes Lee. After a wet start in the spring, the rainfall taps have been drastically reduced lately. It has been multiple weeks now since significant rainfall has fallen in the western half of the state. Looking at this past week from Wednesday, we see that the dry weather continues with only limited amount of rainfall in the eastern third of the state. If we took a look at the year-to-date by month, we look kind of like a seesaw. Wetter than normal in the first half of the year and mostly drier in the latter half. If it wasn't for a wet October for the state, we would be even in more serious shape. Looking at the departure from normal map for the year through November, there is way more reds indicating deficits than blues showing surpluses. This line graph shows the cumulative rainfall for the North Central Climate Division, one of the most important regions for wheat production. You can see the long-term normal with the blue line and this year's rainfall in black. After July, rainfall has been sparse. It would take a 5-inch rain in December that is not very likely based on the forecast to get back to normal for the year. Now here's Gary with a drought map that is getting worse by the week.
Thanks, Wes, and good morning, everyone. Well, November's now in the books, and it wasn't exactly kind to us. We did see that drought start to expand once again thanks to the hot, dry weather. Let's take a look at the latest Drought Monitor map and see where we're at. When we look at the new map, really much of the western half of the state is covered by at least moderate drought. We do have some severe and exceptional drought, those darker browns and the dark reds. But if you're not in drought, you're in abnormally dry conditions, which is a sign that you're heading into drought. Now, across the eastern third or so of the state, we do have some areas free of drought or abnormally dry conditions, but we do have some pockets of moderate to severe drought starting to spread in southeastern Oklahoma and also up into northeastern Oklahoma. So not exactly a good picture as we start to enter the driest 3 months of the year, December through February. The November rainfall map pretty much shows it all, really, except for parts of east central Oklahoma. Most of the state saw less than an inch of rainfall. Out in the Panhandle, Beaver and Hooker and Slapout and places like that did get a little bit of moisture, but for the most part, the Panhandle was almost entirely dry, and that was the case also down across parts of southwestern Oklahoma up into northwestern Oklahoma. So really not a bounty of rainfall this November, and we definitely need more. Taking a look at that November rainfall from another vantage point, this is the percent of normal rainfall for that time frame. We do see most areas less than 50% of normal rainfall. Everybody had a shortfall for this November, so definitely not good. And of course you see those far western Oklahoma counties and also in the far western Panhandle with basically a zero, so not good at all. Let's take a look at those latest outlooks from the Climate Prediction Center for December. We do see for the precipitation outlook increased odds of below normal precipitation across the entire state of Oklahoma, but even greater increased odds across the western half to 2/3 of the state, especially the Oklahoma Panhandle in that region. So definitely not a good outlook for precipitation. And of course, to have the temperatures up above normal during this time frame wouldn't help the drought situation either, but I'm afraid that's exactly what the Climate Prediction Center sees for December. Greatly increased odds of above normal temperatures across the southern half of the state and increased odds of above normal temperatures across the northern half of the state. So really not a good picture there as well. Putting it all together for the December drought outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, once again, they do see that drought persisting or intensifying across the western 2/3 of the state, bleeding over into the northeastern corner of the state, the far northeast corner. So if this map actually comes true, we will see a lot of drought in Oklahoma by the end of the year. Okay, it does look dry for the next week or so. The thing we have to hope for is a pattern change as we get into the later end of the month, closer to Christmas. But we are entering the driest time of the year, so anything we can get will certainly help. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.